Good morning, everyone. Jay Cleveland Payne here with you for things you might have heard for this day. It happens to be Wednesday, September 7, 2022. I am going to provide you as your tertiary news source for this moment, your news side piece, if you will. 9 news stories that may or may not have hit the main headlines. Some of these are big headline news. We're going to, oddly enough, gloss over the headline ones and go in deeper into the ones that you missed. This is a large swath of news stories that you deemed conversational, you deemed worthy of talking about over the last 30 hours, or at least posted over the last 30 hours, and you deemed them in your weird and mysterious ways. Actually, not so weird and mysterious. We'll go into how those work in just a bit. Stop by our main website. This is conversationproject.com for more details about what goes on behind the scenes at the Conversation Project for things you might have heard and things being built up by the larger company for media, or Better Media, LLC. Let's get into the stories right now, right here. Starting off with Memphis Police confirmed that the body found Monday night is Eliza Fletcher. Now, Memphis Police have been dealing with this missing persons case for the weekend. Essentially, Eliza Fletcher went jogging and then went missing. What they had was video surveillance tape of a man who they had in custody, basically chasing her down after she started her jog, but then they found the body later on. First, they had him in custody. They had him charged, but they did not have a body. Then they found a body, and now they have identified that body as the missing Eliza Fletcher. That means there's a path to closure, although this is not the sort of things you're really going to look for closure, if you will. There's a path to end this pursuit and make this thing go away, although going away means coming to terms with the loss of the life of Eliza Fletcher and the family will deal with that. We are sending out plenty of thoughts and prayers, although we do a lot of that around here, to the family of Fletcher and also to the people around the assailant, because believe it or not, there's a whole lot of lives shattered and broken around that person doing the evil deed that it was done to make that go away. Things beeping and buzzing in the background. It just happens here. Going next to deal partners for Trump. Truth Social fails to get backing for SPAC extension. This may be an issue because there's supposed to be 2 slides together on this one, but we'll roll with that one. Deal partner for Trump's Truth Social, the SPAC that was supposed to basically an already public company that buys another company and then makes it poof, that company becomes a public company. Essentially, one, the company did not get the ability to extend on its ability as a SPAC and its ability to live in that process of being a pseudo company for the sake of buying it out. Number 2, we hear that they are having money issues as well. They can't pay their bills either. So Trump's Truth Social is not going to get a chance to rival Twitter because it can't go public for many reasons. Number 1, it seems to be failing, which is not so much a problem in social media terms. None of those things make any money. Number 2, the company that was used to backdoor it into public policy, so you don't have to take it before an IPO, well, that company is failing as well. And this is what it's supposed to say. The deal for the SPAC on the second part of the slide. By the way, Trump had nuclear documents at Mar-a-Lago the whole time. Yes, all the rumors about nuclear documents at Mar-a-Lago that Trump was holding, they're actually true. I mean, nuclear documents from, as far as we know at this moment, a mysterious, unknown nation, we don't know who exactly they are, were at Mar-a-Lago. They were there, and they apparently were spectacular, but we won't get a chance to see them. It is what it is because, us folks here doing tertiary news don't get a chance to check out top secret SCI stuff. I used to have that clearance. Now I don't, and so I don't know what's happening until someone declassifies it for the general public to see and view. What we do know is that, well, we already knew this. Trump is a lying liar. And Trump lied to say that this stuff is nothing. The hoax stuff is a lie. The election stuff is a lie. The January 6th stuff is a lie. And the fact that he just sort of wandered off with boxes of documents that were his, I'm pausing for effect here, is a lie. And other than the slides being off, I think I'm right on this. Let's move on to this one. 5 DPS officers under investigation for actions during Uvalde response. 5 Department Dallas police, 5 police officers are in trouble right now because of some issues that they had with what happened in Uvalde. Essentially, what happened was they sat around for an hour and waited for a gunman to wander around the halls of the school and not attack. There are 5 of the Dallas DPS officers who are now in the investigation for this one. You'll find more details in this. You'll find more details in this happening. One, by clicking the link, and two, just as this thing gets larger and larger and larger. There will be many investigations, many dispositions, many talking to folks and trying to get answers. But the answer is simple. And it's something that you can't really say, well, these people should have, because you never can really go shoulds after the cases. But there was more than ample ability for the officers that were on the scene and the people from the other agencies on the scene to intervene on this thing much, much earlier and try something different and not just wait around for nothing to happen. Now we're at the phase where we're blaming folks, we're getting resolutions, we're firing people, which should happen. But we need to also get to the point where we're thinking about this stuff and fixing it so that the next time around we have a better outcome. That is what should be done right now. Investigations, yeah, but we really need to work on the tactics. That's what needs to be done. Justin Bieber has canceled the rest of his world tour due to his health issues. The man who used to be the kid that sang Baby, is having all sorts of weird health issues and has canceled various tour dates as he literally goes on stage and finds he can't stand up. He's canceling the rest of the tour because he can't deal with it. His health is failing him at the moment. He's going to go back and regroup and try to get better, which is the more important thing. For a person whose job it is to enlighten, entertain, inform people, that's sort of what I do here. It's cool that I show up every day and give you stuff, but if I can't show up every day and give you stuff because I'm feeling health or something else is wrong, which is better, me showing up and giving a half-assed performance, or me not showing up, getting better to give a better performance down the line and more sustainable performances down the line? That's essentially what's going on with this right here. Justin Bieber understands he's upsetting fans, but guess what? His health is kind of more important. Him being dead means no more fans can take in his concerts, and he has a family to take care of. Now, there's a true story of Justin Bieber. Back in my radio days, Justin Bieber came to town. He came to town a few times, but one of those times he came by, then one of the DJs that was there doing the meet and greet was just backstage and whatever. This is when he's teenager Justin Bieber, before he started tattooing up and whatever, and he's still heartthrobs and kids all over the place. He was having throat issues that night. He was having basically losing his voice. And then he was at the meet and greet beforehand, just yakking up, talking, whatever. One of his managers pulled him to the side, put him in a corner, put the baby guy in a corner, literally, and said, look, you've got 40,000 people outside this door ready to listen to you sing for 2 hours. And you've got 20 people in this room that you're joking up with, and you're ruining your voice and you're screwing up to give these 20 people an experience that the other 40,000 plus these 20 will get from out there. So you need to think about the future, think about what's happening, and really get serious with this. You need to stop talking, be gracious, shake some hands and smile, and get out there so you can sing for 2 hours and don't lose your voice in the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes. We're going to stay out here on this thing. And it's a one of those lessons you hear and you get something from in the process, and it means something. It meant something a lot to the DJ that heard that, because like, man, that really made sense. I can put all the stuff out in this yakety yak stuff while I walk to the stage, or I can give everybody on stage what they deserve, because everyone gets some. Even these people think they get screwed because they're at this meet and greet. You got to take care of everybody, so you give them something special, but give everybody what they came to pay for. And that's essentially what we're having right here on a grander scale. Justin Bieber cannot perform because of his health. So he is not performing because of his health. That is a good thing. Instagram deletes Pornhub's account for promoting pornography and encouraging people to become performers. I'm going to turn to my right and take a look at some of the details from the article, because I need to get you this. Instagram has removed Pornhub's account from its social media platform after accusations against the website continue to emerge. Before its deletion, the Canadian-owned pornography video streaming website had 13.1 million followers and an active handle that had more than 6,200 posts. They're being engaged. They're engaged with their public. Here's the problem. According to Variety, Instagram's parent company Meta decision came after significant lobbying to have it suspended from the pro photo sharing platform. The move comes a month after Visa and MasterCard cut off payment privileges to Traffic Junkie, the advertising arm of Pornhub's parent company, MindGeek. On Friday, September 2nd, the founder and CEO of nonprofit Justice Fest Funds, Layla Malkawash, tweeted that Instagram had removed the adult website account. She wrote, "Have a good weekend." And so what's the deal on this? Well, Pornhub, the Instagram account, is essentially asking people by sharing porny stuff to join Pornhub, which is fine as a business, but also do some pornography. Join the world of porn and send us your porn. And people have a problem with that. I'm just stating, people have a problem with that. You may have a problem with that. You may not have a problem with that. We are just your tertiary news source. We're just a messenger. We are new because of our news side piece. So that's kind of what we do. But people have a problem with Pornhub going on to Instagram, promoting themselves and promoting pornography. While Instagram is known for a place, a home for influencers to influence people to do things and buy things, it's essentially what they do. Now, is this fair? Probably not. Is it good? Probably so, but it's also a matter of opinion on how far and how much they can provide, how far they can go, how much promotion is promotion, and how much promotion is illicit activity, i.e. prostitution. Your mileage may vary. Thousands without power in California's Bay Area amid heat wave. Now, California was able to basically avert having massive rolling blackouts over the day because they were able to basically save some power in issues. But what California is dealing with is a twofold issue. Number one, surging heat in California, or three things: surging heat in California. Number two, the grid that's not made for this, and many people, oddly enough, in California don't have air conditioning because it's always like 75 degrees. So you don't necessarily need air conditioning, and there's not a lot of humidity. So it's not so much humidity, it's true actual heat in this case. And three, wildfires, which are always all around basically, but in the coming out of summer into fall part where it's still warm-ish and dry-ish, there are fires abound in places which threaten not only lives and property, but literally the grid itself. There are a whole lot of things going on in these issues, and we need to keep an eye on this. Right now, the Bay Area shut down power to save itself from heat wave stuff, but California averted a very massive, more or less statewide shutting down the power. This is a state that I learned is more popular than Canada. More people live in California than in Canada, period. So this would be an issue that could cause more issues. And it will cause more issues as time continues on this one. We just basically have to wait for the coolness and hope that the power companies can catch up to what work needs to be done for grid work. Woman says she was arrested in Las Vegas airport for being so good looking. Not quite the case. Check the link out and go deeper into this one. It wasn't just that she was so good looking. She was also committing crimes. Sort of happens. And Zerlina Maxwell will leave MSNBC. Zerlina Maxwell, a former political operative turned journalist, which happens a lot, is going to leave MSNBC. She joined MSNBC about a year or 2 years ago, but a few years back, as MSNBC was looking to expand on its Peacock brand, or specifically MSNBC on Peacock, offering more newsy / politically type stuff on the Peacock network for on-demand, for live and on-demand viewing. So Zerlina Maxwell had a live show on Peacock that, of course, once it's played, is on demand there. After Peacock scrapped those plans, pretty much after CNN scrapped CNN Plus, because people are realizing that the idea is not quite a bright idea, or not as grand as idea, or it's more popular just to replay the stuff that already produced at MSNBC. There are too many cooks to put in the kitchen. There's too many players on the field. Some people need to leave. So Zerlina Maxwell is going to leave MSNBC and do other things because she's got the talent and the ability to do that. Check out the link to see more about what's happening, more deeper inside stuff into this story. But this is a bigger deal than just me, news junkie, may lead you to believe. With all the streaming platforms that were created and all the people put out there to put content on the streaming platforms, and now some bit of constriction, you end up with what I have seen personally in my broadcasting career in actual radio and television, is that there's less opportunities. If more conglomerates are owning properties and putting on syndicated stuff, then there's less opportunities for the local guys to run things and be the part of the show in the local areas, and ironically, to grow into larger syndicated folks. Zerlina Maxwell already has a name, so she's going to be just fine. Somebody's going to pay her fairly well, so she will be just fine. Some of the other folks in the wings that were taking these pieces of work and using that as platforms to grow onto, they may not be as fine as soon as we think. Here's a story we could talk about tomorrow if you choose us to. Steve Bannon expected to surrender Thursday on New York state charges related to border wall effort. Now, remember, there is this company put together that was supposed to basically fund the wall, build the wall, put money together and pay contractors, pay people to build the wall. And what they did was take money from people who wanted to see the wall built and spend it on stuff that was not building a wall. People's pockets of lining stuff. There already is the guy who basically ran the company. He's already doing jail time, I believe. Now, Steve Bannon, as a person who promoted it and being a partner of the thing, now is going to have to deal his stuff. He is expected to surrender on Thursday to deal with this one now going on. For a person who seems to be the genius in all of these plots and plans, he seems to be dealing with a lot of legal stuff. Also, his plots and plans aren't working very well, which is the other thing. We can talk more about this tomorrow. If you deem this a conversational type story, you deem the Instagram story yesterday for Pornhub the conversation, and that's how it turned into one of the stories we talked about. Engage with the story, like, love, hate, share, be a part of the brands, and do what you can do on the feeds, and you can make this a reality. We can talk more Steve Bannon tomorrow. More about the feeds and how they work in just a moment. But first, quick commercial break, and that is to talk about Fundrise. Fundrise is a great company. It's a great service. I say that as an actual customer. I have been an investor using this for about a month before I actually started using it in promotional values for pushing out there. And it has been a eye-opening experience. I have always wanted to get into real estate, and just you have to have big chunks of money to really see what's going on. What Fundrise is, it's a way to buy into a real estate fund just as if it were a mutual fund, just as if it were stocks and bonds. You buy into the fund, you pay for your shares, and you get details, you get descriptions on what your fund is doing. My fund is actively working to buy more properties to make more money for themselves and me. My fund is actively managing more properties, selling some of its estate to bring in more dividends for themselves and me. My fund is doing what it can to work the real estate world right now. It's hard to just go out there, buy a house and sell a house. We just bought a house. We're about to sell a house. It's not easy doing all that work. And so the easiest way to get into the world of real estate and to expand on your portfolio is to check out a place like Fundrise. You'll get a free shares of stock by going right now, and 30 days on the front end, no advisory fees. They take fees off of what you invest in to work for stuff. For the first 30 days, fund it as much as you want to, no advisory fees, free money, and extra shares of the funds. Fundrise is the place to check it out. Check out our affiliate link at thisistheconversationproject.com/fundrise. This is theconversationproject.com/fundrise. It's affiliate link, so we get a little bit back from you checking this out, but check it out. Get yourself into the world of real estate investing. Expand your portfolio. Check it out at Fundrise. Our website's a note. Start off with the main website, which is thisistheconversationproject.com. Check it out for details on the Conversation Project, More Bitter Media LLC, and things you might have heard, including past episodes and where you can subscribe to the newsletter. So if you're not seeing this live every day, you'll get a email into your box that will tell you links to where the video is playing, links to the podcast. We'll get that in a second, and all the links to the news stories, so you don't just have to listen to me talk for 20 minutes to get that far. The feeds are on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com and twitter.com, specifically facebook.com/thisistheconversationproject and twitter.com/th_conversation. What you get there is you see the news stories that we're talking about ahead of time as they are going live, as they're being posted from the news sources. We are tertiary, so we take from the primary and pull it together in aggregation and tertiary it to you not the proper term for it, but we just did that. And we give it to you a chance to see what's going on. And you engage with it on your own time. Like it, love it, hate it, share it. The more engagement a particular link and story gets, the higher score it gets the next day. And then on Tuesday through Thursday, we'll give you a bunch of stories, usually 5 to 9, from the top 15 stories from the prior day, usually between 31 and 35, some number around that. So we'll give you the top stories that you choose from the top stories. There you go. More or less top stories. You pick the ones that we do more conversational. Some we scratch out because they're not as easy to tell in story form. On the TikTok, find us at The Communication Project. Also, find us on YouTube and the podcast as well. The links are at our main website for YouTube and podcast, which go to YouTube and the podcast provider pod page. Make sure you hit YouTube and you subscribe. Of course, you need subscribers, and you like the videos. There you go. And you hit notifications in your subscription so that at 5:50 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday, you get the notification. On Mondays, we give you 9 to 12 stories from the top 30 over the weekend. The weekend, we get about 90 or so stories. So we have a larger swath to pick up for the weekend, and they're from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yada, yada, yada. So let's talk about today things, and that includes birthdays on day. Much love, much praise, much worship to Leslie Jones, turning 55 years old today. The diva of all things, the master of funny and fabulous, is turning 55 years old, and we're giving lots of shout outs to Leslie Jones, a very versatile actor, comedian as well. In the new Comedy Central show, Out of Office, I think that's what it's called. I'm seeing commercials for it all over the place on my YouTube TV. So she's starring apparently as Kim Jong's wife or something. I haven't seen it yet. It premiered last night, I think. So I'm going to check it out over the weekend. It's I think it's Comedy Central, maybe Hulu. It could be anywhere as far as I know, the way these things work these days. Shannon Elizabeth, going back to some American Pie, turning 49 years old today. If that makes you feel a little bit aged, that's because you're probably more than a little bit aged right now. She's done other things, of course, but her big breakout role, if you want to call it that, is the time she spent with the guys on American Pie. That's essentially what she's culturally known for. At least that's why I know for him. Jonathan Majors turning 33 years old today. Say that 3 times fast. 33 years old today for Jonathan Majors. He is a up-and-coming actor. You saw him in the Lovecraft Country stuff on HBO. He plays He Who Remains and all the various versions of the Kangs coming up in the Avengers Marvel's universe stuff going on. So he'll be coming back soon, as they are taping right now Loki season 2. He's going to be a part of Avengers somehow, because Kang's a major Avengers villain, and now that time is a big thing. I think he's also appearing specifically in the next Ant-Man and Wasp one, because they're dealing with the quantum realm and time and stuff like that. So you'll see much more Jonathan Majors if you don't think you have. I would give him some love on today, turning 33 on September the 7th. Beer Lovers Day. Let's make it simple. If you love beer, it's Beer Lovers Day. If you don't love beer, it's still Beer Lovers Day. September 7th is Beer Lovers Day. Pull this for my good friend Kevin, because I know he loves him some beer. So get yourself a brew. This is not a brew. This is tea. And have yourself a cold one somewhere around here, because beer lovers have Beer Lovers Days. Whether it's the good craft IPAs or a cheap old MDG, have a beer, drink responsibly, and enjoy yourself. Let's go out with our one last fact for the day. And this was a hard one to pick for the day, because there were some happier things to talk about. There were some cool, funny things to talk about. This one just sort of, when I got to it, it hit me. And so we're got to go a little deep right now. Food is a fundamental human right, much like air and water. Yet hunger and food insecurity are widespread in the United States. In 2020, almost 14 million households, that's 10.5% of the population, did not have enough food to meet their needs, which greatly affected their health, well-being, and quality of life. From June 1st to June 13th of this year, almost 24 million households, including 11.6 million households with children under the age of 18, reported that they are sometimes or often did not have enough to eat during the week. Food insecurity is something that is maybe over reported, if you will, or over advertised, but it is because it's such an important thing. Everyone knows someone who is food insecure. They just don't necessarily know it. Everyone touches people or touches communities where there is food insecurity. They just may not think about it in the general sense, because if you have plenty to eat and extra snacks, you may not be thinking about your neighbor who may or may not have stuff, but you do see the kids who seem to be, hungry or looking for stuff. If you have children in schools, there's a big push on, lunches there. You have children, you deal with children at all, food insecurity and the various ways of sneaking in food to people so that they can have meals to eat and families can survive. I don't want to go too deep into this one because this does get really, really, really sort of downing, if you will. But think about it. If you have some time to donate to a food bank, either with food or just in cash donations, you'll be surprised how easily they can make things work. There's a food bank attached to my church as a part of its nonprofit work, and they basically feed people a week's worth of meals, a family of four in prepackaged crates like groceries for about $70. You can get a week's worth of meals because they can take those donations and work them through other food banks and donation banks to make them work out. And it's good food. It's not just bags of rice, other bags of rice and cans of beans. Though there are cans of beans, but this is good, fresh, quality meats and vegetables because there's a network to do that. So if you don't have time to go stand at the food bank, which some of us don't, if you don't have extra food in your cabinet because maybe you don't shop that way, a few extra bucks towards your local food bank is going to go bonkers in taking care of folks. Like I said, they feed a family of four for about $7 a week. I can't feed my family of three because they want extra cookies and cereal with extra pops on it and duck, things like that. So trust me, if you know someone who is food insecure, don't try to, just say, here, have a ham, help them out in better ways, offer them up over for dinner, if you will, things like that. But you also want to make sure that you're taking care of organizations who know how to take care of folks like that. They're much better at it than you trying to be clumsy about it. And if you want to do like my cousin does and just make plates for homeless people and drive around and give them to them, do that too. That's cool. Now, today has been Wednesday, September 7th, 2022, or today actually still is as I'm saying this, but this has been the Things You Might Have Heard edition of this one. A lot of sorts in this one. I thought it was a pretty good offering today, although we're going almost 30 minutes, so that is kind of an issue. What do you think about what we did today? Let us know. Tell me in the comments, either in the videos you're watching this or in the podcast that you listen to. Oh, yeah, the podcast is just the audio from the video put on the audio version. Reply to us in the via the emails, the newsletter or the website. If you get it there, just put a reply in there. We'll chat back with you. We'll talk back with you and give you your love on the back end of these things going on. Take that food insecurity thing to heart because, and like I said, there were a lot of really fun, silly, cool things to talk about in the going out. And this one, when I read it, put a little something on my heart this morning. So that's how it worked. Also, stay hydrated, stay limber, and stay on task. We need you to be healthy, safe, and sane. So for all the things that you're here for to do. I am Jay Cleveland Payne. This has been Things You Might Have Heard, Wednesday, September 7, 2022 edition. More news for the Thursday edition already posting. Check out the feeds and just check us out tomorrow.